start?
Hey, Lena. Lula. Yeah, you can go back to playing after.
If you only could see the setup that's behind all of this.
All the like kid craft nonsense you could ever want.
Toys and Barbies and plastic food everywhere.
Do you have kids?
Nope.
I'll say that again, because Oscar's enjoying a video upstairs.
Molly, can you get back?
Hurry up. Our son is
Stop
filming
it.
this.
Stop it.
Good. Way back.
Oh, totally.
This is his nap time, so it's going well.
Great.
Here they are on a Disney cruise.
Oscar's birth was announced to the Broadway company of Les Miz over the loudspeaker at half hour. And that was before our families knew that he was born. So Andrew's first call.
We had to have a reason for being late to call. We actually were shooting a baby story at the time, the Learning Channel show, and they came and they did a whole thing on us being in the show together, and Susan being pregnant and having the baby, so everybody got to be
So it's a big part of our episode.
Yeah.
Of a baby story.
I think it's like all of it. It's pretty much all of it.
Well, there's a lot of it. Well, it was a big part of our lives at the time.
We have kids. We have two kids.
We have two boys.
Two boys.
Identical twin boys, Gus and Charlie.
Our son's name is Jack.
We have two daughters, Lena and Louise.
Cooper, who is 16, and Benji, who's 12.
We have a daughter who is 12. Her name is Molly.
Andrew, Andy, was born in 2008.
We have a son who is 10, and his name's Jack.
Jake was born in 2004. He's 16 now.
And we have a daughter, Beatrice, who is 9.
We do have kids. We have two boys.
Yeah, we have two boys. It's pretty amazing.
We have two adorable children.
Do you have kids?
Hell no.
We have 3 dogs.
We have three pit bulls, and that's plenty.
We do have a Havanese named Jasper that Jason could not live without.
He would be a really cute gavroche.
He doesn't know how to speak English.
He could learn.
That's Jack, by the way, if you can hear him.
You can hear our son.
This is Baldwin. He's not part of the story.
They're 3 and 5, Quinn and Theo.
Silas and Gideon, they are about to turn 10 and 12.
They're a lot. I don't know where they get that from. We have kids.
We have kids.
Last visit to the theater before the baby comes.
I know, how funny is that?
My doctor actually came to see the show. I walked her backstage to show her the stairs. I had to run up and down a million times a night. She said, "You're in good shape, you're feeling good, you can stay as long as you're feeling good." By the time I hit like 5.5 months, they said, "We probably will not put you on for Fontaine anymore because of the risk. You know, it's a physical role, and also I don't know that I would fit in a corset." Then I was 7.5 months pregnant. It was my last week in the show, and I had an emergency costume fitting in between shows where we had to kind of figure out if they could disguise me being pregnant. There was no way. What I had not anticipated was you get on your knees to sing I Dreamed a Dream, and when I was finished, I could not get off of my knees. My center of gravity was so different. They realized I wasn't going anywhere, and they just rotated me off on the turntable, and I literally rolled off stage into the wings. That was really a lot of fun.
He or she's going to know this music very well. They're going to love it or be so sick of it we can never play the cast album around the house again.
I came back to London, and then you followed.
Yeah, and
then you went back into Les Miz,
I did.
didn't you? Yeah.
So I went back to play Fontaine again in Les Miz in 1996.
Yeah, and then shortly thereafter, I became the music director.
That's right. So then we ended up in that show together.
And then we ended up with this one here.
Yeah, so then I became pregnant during that contract with this fella. So that was in 1996. Yeah, and I was about 6 months pregnant, actually.
Happy days.
When I left.
I did go up backstage.
Well, you went to the University of Les Miz.
I went to the University of Les Miz, yeah. They took me into Les Miz at 19, which was amazing. I remember coming into the Queens where the directors and the producers had worked with these guys for 20 years or whatever, and not all of them knew who I was, that I was their son, so that was kind of a really crazy experience, reconnecting with people.
It was a really neat experience as well, because I'd never really watched the show all the way through from beginning to end. You'd kind of watch bits and pieces in rehearsals from out front, but I think the first time I sat down and watched it completely from beginning to end as an audience member was watching Kieran in it, and I was sitting in the audience with Dan and my mum and my sister who was in the show with me, so that was a really neat experience.
We did the concert together, the Les Miz concert, the Gielgud, so the fact that we were able to be in the show together officially was insane and an incredible experience. But of course, take a guess at the shenanigans that happens there. I mean, I'm singing with my mum pissing herself laughing at me while singing, Fooey on the Barricade, and mum's just laughing at me, so, things like that.
No, it's because I was very happy that we're in the show together.
Yeah.
What luck you've got, it's worth a centime, my dear. I'll take the lot, don't touch me, leave me alone.
To do the concert version and have it, filmed and, a CD of it, that's kind of a lovely record for our family to have.
Yeah, a record of mum forgetting all the words and all the ensemble numbers.
That's not true.
Fontaine, sort of singing at the end of the day in sort of Lord of the Rings gibberish.
I'm talking about the CD and the film of the concert.
No, well, the film, we got the words right to the film, but, mind you, that was about 3 years down the line.
Jack's a sporty kid. He enjoys the arts. Molly lives and breathes the arts.
Yeah, she's a musical theater kid.
So far, they are not really inclined to be in the arts and shows.
No, that's not their bag.
They play the piano, they love music, they sing around the house.
Is he a performer? TBD.
In his own right, I guess.
But yes, he is what we would call a ham. Whether or not he'll be a performer on stage, not sure, but he's very theatrical.
I don't know that they'll be show kids necessarily, but they do sing.
I kind of hope not.
They do sing very well.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're both amazing singers.
Yeah.
It really, it's kind of shocking, to see what great pitch and tone and ability that they have. I don't know if they'll go into it in any way, shape, or form, but they really are extremely talented.
Jake plays drums. He could be amazing. He has a real natural instinct for music, and he does too.
They're not performers, but they're musical people.
Gus and Charlie got really involved in doing musicals and plays in middle school.
Yeah.
Which was really fun for us to see and to encourage them to just, be creative and express themselves. They play instruments and they played sports as well. And Beatrice now is 9, and so she's just getting into dance classes and taking acting and singing and stuff like that. So they like it.
No one's B remains to be seen, I think. But Gus and Charlie are really good and really talented, but they don't have that I have to do theater or I'll die sort of feeling that
I think we had
that we had as kids.
I gave birth to our son, and the first phone call that Andrew made was not to one of our families. It was to the stage management office at Les Miz Broadway, and they announced it through the building that Oscar was born.
And we brought him in, and everybody got to meet him, so it was great.
Look who's here, it's Daddy.
Hello, hello.
Look, it's Daddy. Our son, Oscar, has autism, and we love the parenting journey that we have been on, but it was not expected. There are always things, I'm sure, that surprise you. They say that people on the spectrum, they respond differently and better to people who have high affect. And high affect means people who are loud, and that's music theater, man. Hi, look at those eyes.
Oh my God, it's like the Witches of Eastwick all of a sudden.
I am so, so grateful all the time that Andrew and I are people in the music theater world, because Oscar's life has been richer because of that. And we stay in contact with a lot of our Les Miz friends and consider them
and watch
family.
their kids grow up.
It's a huge, entire, beautiful family. I worked with Joe Berg in the original company of Les Miz, And then years later, he's had a fantastic career. I mean, this guy's a star, you know, and I get to take my kids to see the show.
Chip Leonard has been, and Aubrey Leonard have been to every one of my shows.
He shows my kids backstage, and my daughter's a big, huge super fan of Broadway. It's an incredible thing to be able to share a life like that.
David Josephsberg, our kids are on the same soccer team. So we really, I mean, it really does feel like that what started for us during Les Miz just proliferated and continued throughout our whole life, and it's interwoven through all parts of our lives now.
I'm thinking about like Cooper, his bar mitzvah, right? Like it was like a sea of Les Mis friends.
One of our best friends that we met on the show is Jack's godfather, so can't beat that.
I am the godfather to Max and Siri's beautiful son, Jack, future Gebrosh. We were in the room within minutes of her giving birth. They are entwined in our lives. I can't imagine our life without them.
Les Mis it's just the biggest thing in our lives, I think.
I would say it's I mean, look at it. We wouldn't be here without it.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
Our children wouldn't be here.
I had to really concentrate all the time not to get choked up by it, because when you really think about, you know, to love another person is to see the face of God, and then you marry somebody, and then you have kids, those things become pretty real pretty quick.
Oscar is a musician, he's a pianist and a singer, but I think he just lets his crazy parents do the stage part of it.
He is surrounded by so much love, and it's so fortunate to come into this world with that kind of surrounding.
He has no stage fright, he has great stage presence.
Of course, he'll probably be a great singer because his mom and dad are so great.
I can't wait to tell Oscar how cool his parents are.
The second that I saw him, I just fell in love with him instantly. The best part about being a mom is watching this little person emerge every day a little bit more in front of my eyes. Whatever he chooses to do, I'm sure with Andrew and Susan as parents, he'll be great at.
Great parents, I expect great things, and Uncle Tim will be watching.
Music has been very important to him and it has been a way for us to reach him. Andrew and I both being musicians and artists has been a lifeline for us as parents and for our son as he grows up. I came back after a maternity leave and we all bowed together as a family.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew was Valjean and I was Fantine. We bowed together with our son, who at the time was 10 months old, and, as a family.
Yeah, it was great. And somebody snapped a picture of it.
It was the last week of the original run of the Broadway Company of Les Miz.
Grandkids?
Not that old. We didn't do the original Les Mis.
We do not have any grandchildren that we know of.
Hey-o. I
We
was
do
a ladies' man.
No, he has seven grandkids. That's good.
No kids, no progeny.
Progeny? Slow down, Einstein.
Progeny, yes.
This is a recipe for ribs. This is not the question. There we go.
This is my Les Miz baby. Do you want to say hello?
Hi.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye for now.